Oh, you're back.
Okay, now that we're all here, what do you say we get to the bottom of this?
You two look like you've been through a war.
Just one war? I've lost count of how many battles we've had down here. I did okay, right, Shiki Taisho?
Mr. Tartaglia is no stranger to domains. He was able to deal with even the most powerful monsters with ease. I am confident that we can make it to the innermost depths of the domain.
Huh. You two seem to have gotten much closer over the last few days.
Well, we fought shoulder to shoulder for quite a while now. Alright, listen up. During the rearrangement, Shiki Taisho said he could sense the most important replica over there.
Compared with the other replicas, it should contain a far greater power within. If I can fuse with it successfully, I should be able to remember the truth of this domain.
It's right there? Then how come you guys haven't gone over yet?
Shiki Taisho, were you waiting for us this whole time?
Without your companionship, I never would have made it this far. My memories were only retrieved thanks to everyone's efforts. I feel it's only right that you're here with me to witness this final and most important juncture. My memories, fragmented for so long, are finally complete. I remember it all now. The origin of the mystic Onmyo chamber. Its essence. This realm is not for practicing Onmyodo, nor is it for harnessing evil. The reason Haranosuke created me and the domain, our sole purpose, was to protect.
Protect?
Our nation was once attacked by a great evil, and a person of importance to Haranosuke was taken from him. He was filled with hatred and regret, and began yearning for the strength to take on the evil himself. He made his way across the ocean to seek the Adepti of Liyue, and went on to study the Adepti arts. He combined those subtle techniques with the art of transcension that he himself had practiced over the years, and founded the earliest version of Onmyodo. Later, he rallied all samurai with the will to serve in protecting the nation, and created me and this Onmyo chamber. With me as a template, he would create many replicas, assigning each to a samurai. The samurai and Shikigami were partners, combining their martial prowess and charm magic to take on monsters with great efficiency. They worked in pairs and set out to rid the land of monsters. Information on the defeated monsters would be recorded within the Shikigami. Upon returning to the domain, that information would be channeled into the creation of mirror monsters, training targets for the samurai. As the first Shikigami, I was constantly absorbing the knowledge and experiences of the replicas. I was able to improve the structure of the domain and provide better training for the samurai. Over time, these dedicated samurai were able to achieve an enviable martial prowess. A new batch of recruits would arrive as the last group left the domain. The cycle of new knowledge and new opponents seemed to be never-ending.
A domain for training?
No wonder the fighting never stops here. This was a training ground to begin with.
In other words, Kamuna Haranosuke built this Onmyo chamber to train samurai to fight monsters? Doesn't that make him a pretty great guy?
Well, if that's the case, why is he hiding away in the depths of the domain?
No. Haranosuke is no longer here. For reasons unknown, Haranosuke disbanded the samurai and abandoned the domain. This part of my memory is still fragmented. I can't remember what Haranosuke said to me before he left.
Left? Meaning he's still alive?
It's possible, and I hope he is. I am a weapon created by Haranosuke. The purpose of the Onmyo chamber, my purpose, is to facilitate combat, to train myself and others. But this domain was abandoned. The only people to have come here since are yourselves. What use does a weapon discarded by its owner have to offer?
This is really tough for Shiki Taisho.
A discarded weapon. Discarded or not, what's so bad about being a weapon? All those who stalk the battlefield yearn for meaning and value.
Do you think so?
You were interested in my secret, right? Why is it that I'm able to withstand the resistance of the domain? Why is it that I'm able to face down complex battles with ease? I have fought in the fissures that lie between great tree roots. Boundless danger, fatal encounters. These are the ingredients I use to become stronger still. It is not victory that I seek, but improvement. I want to become sharp as a blade, to the point where others fear me. You're not the only weapon here, Shiki Taisho.
If that's true, then these battles you strive for, where do they end?
Only those that wish for an end will find one. For me, it's nothing more than a mirage. I was born to fight, and as long as I draw breath, there will be no end to my purpose. My limits vanish behind the horizon with every step that I take. Let go of your confusion. Sorrow and hesitation are the enemy of an implacable weapon.
What must I do to let go?
Don't worry. You don't have to abandon something to succeed in letting go. You don't have to abandon anything, Shiki Taisho. You've only just regained your memories. This is the perfect opportunity to pick up where you left off. All you gotta do is find the thing that was most important and righteous to you.
Most important and righteous?
Yep, for me, it's rock and roll. It's not everyone's cup of tea. In fact, I'd say it's kinda unpopular, really. But if it makes me happy, that's all that matters. What do I care if someone doesn't share my passion? All I need to worry about is doing what I enjoy. So if people want to roll their eyes or give me the cold shoulder, they can have at it. My music was never meant for those that couldn't understand it.
I still remember your test. The song you played for me.
You said that you were walking alone, that you spent time in the company of others eating grilled fish by a fire. Your answer was filled with an understanding of human emotion. We've all journeyed down a path of solitude at some point in our lives. Your presence there puts you in good company. You found us and joined us by the fire, and we became friends. The road ahead is difficult, but we're never alone. Shiki Taisho, this is the language in my music, and my reward for sticking to the path right for me. What about you? I know there'll be something calling out to you.
Miss Xinyan, I may not be able to harness the optimism you carry with you just yet, but I do know that my journey doesn't end here. Everyone, we continue on. I want to. No, I must retrieve the last replica and regain control of this domain. Yes. There has to be something left that only I am capable of doing.
That's more like it. Get ready, everyone. There's more fighting ahead. As long as we move forward together, there's nothing to worry about.
Master Kamina, over half our trained samurai are wounded, and our Shikigami losses are far greater than anticipated. Besides, the outside situation is beginning to stabilize. Do we really need to keep pursuing this ultimate attainment?
Why so apprehensive? This is all within my expectation.
Harunosuke, forgive my directness, but she's not coming back.
All I ever wanted was to assist her descendants and guard this territory. Now that our targets no longer exist, and those needing our protection are finally safe, then perhaps our sworn mission has indeed come to an end. I always believed that I would stand guard in this place forever. if time permitted. I almost fooled myself with such a notion. I hope you never make the same mistake.
Don't worry, Harunosuke. I know everything that you've done for Inazuma. Your efforts need not be judged by others. The same goes for my existence.
Bestowing you with intelligence, that you should know human emotion, it would seem this was the right decision. In the end, it is you that have enlightened me. Rosy-cheeked in the morning, bleached bones by dusk. How so very true. I have nothing left to keep me. Shiki Taisho, my friend, you have completed your assignment magnificently. As for me, I need wait no longer. I will set out again, in search of a new purpose.
Then this is farewell, Harunosuke. Be safe in your travels. I remember everything. Harunosuke didn't abandon me. It was I that persuaded him and helped him escape the labyrinth of his heart. Harunosuke didn't abandon me. I enlightened him. I helped him to release a burden shouldered for too long. Harunosuke had great aspirations for me and the mystic Onmyo chamber. But the truth is, perhaps we were an ill-timed creation. The samurai trained tirelessly and with promising results. And yet, the strength of mortals is bound by unforgiving limits. Our progress was too slow. Even as we trained, the god with the power of the Muso no Hitotachi swept across the land with a force of diligent and mighty warriors. They removed all hidden evils from our territory. And just like that, a life's work was rendered unnecessary. No one in this world is prepared when such sorrow befalls them.
The power of the gods can be cruel.
Paimon can't begin to imagine how that feels, but we've definitely heard about similar cases.
I was lost, dejected, and doubted everything in sight. Still, the fruits of our labor and valiant efforts cannot be denied, even if they were overshadowed. Regardless, the aim that Harunosuke and the samurai sought had been achieved. The samurai no longer needed to devote their life to training. It should have been something to celebrate. But Harunosuke was a sentimental man. His affections were rooted in mortal desire, and he couldn't bear to let go of what he had lost. To protect was our shared ambition. And if the world was the object of Harunosuke's protection, then he was the object of mine. As his most prized creation and only friend in the mystic Onmyo chamber, I tried to persuade him. He told me that he wanted to set out again in search of a new purpose, that it may take him months, years, or even centuries. It didn't matter to me. All I wanted was for him to achieve that aspiration and to return to this place anew, and in the endless days of waiting, I fell into a deep slumber. Harunosuke, you're not coming back, are you?
Don't be upset, Shiki Taisho.
If Kamina Harunosuke learned the power of Adepti arts and Transcension, isn't it possible that he became immortal?
What I've come to realize is that regardless of whether he remains in this world, He shouldn't be the sole purpose of my existence. Meeting all of you helped me understand belief. I believe that Haranosuke is walking his own path now. And I believe that I too can find a path of my own. From birth, we begin to walk in solitude toward an inevitable end. But there are embers in the mist that welcome us, and friendships to be made under the night sky. Our assignment does not end because the journey is long. There was value in everything Haranosuke did, and my purpose is my assignment. That's something that will never change, nor will it be taken away from me. I am Shiki Taisho, the first Shikigami, ally of martial artists, and forevermore the overseer of the mystic Onmyo Chamber. My duty is to assist fighters in reaching ultimate attainment. There will be others in this world attempting to scale the highest peak. I will gladly become a bridge between the mountains, a weapon that carries them through the clouds.
Now that's what I'm talking about.
You found your answer.
Wow! Full memory Shiki Taisho is a force to be reckoned with!
I've regained full control of the mystic Onmyo Chamber. No mirror monsters will be able to escape this domain from now on. The crisis has been averted. In a few days' time, I'll be able to secure the charm magic network and restore the mystic Onmyo Chamber to its original state. This place is an ever-changing yet reliable training ground. I will continue to stand guard here and provide training for anyone seeking ultimate attainment. The Tenryo Commission must already have made preparations to enter the domain by now. Please, leave the negotiations to me. When they arrive, I will explain the matter in its entirety.
So we don't have to deal with the nitty-gritty? Great! Paimon hates negotiations.
My thanks to all of you. Without you, I never would have been able to regain my true self. I've prepared a gift for you. It may not be enough to repay your kindness, but I hope it will come in handy.
A replica?
You can call it Shiki Kosho. Shiki Kosho is different to the other replicas. No matter where you go, it can maintain communication with me. It won't be able to use Shikifuda or charm magic outside of the mystic Onmyo Chamber, but it can still provide you with protection. Bringing it with you on your travels is the same as having me by your side.
Shiki Taisho still sounds upset. Is he worried we won't meet again? All right now. No more sadness, you hear me? We ain't left just yet. Besides, thanks to the Traveler, Kujo, Sara, and Beidou, getting over to Inazuma just got a whole lot easier. I might just have to start paying you a regular visit.
Miss Shinyan, wouldn't that take up too much of your time?
Well, let me ask you a question. What do you think of rock and roll?
Rock and roll. To me, it's wonderful music.
Then that's good enough for me. I only ever perform for people that can appreciate it anyway. Speaking of which, prepare your ears, y'all. It's about to get louder.
Huh? You're gonna perform right now? Wow! Paimon never realized how uplifting this number was! Wait, Tartaglia can dance, right? Let's get him to... Huh? Where'd he go? Hey, Tartaglia! Where do you think you're going? Trying to sneak off on us, huh?
Sneak off? I'm just looking for a place to put my feet up and muse for a while is all. Traveler, it's time I told you about my investigations.
Does it have to do with my past experiences?
Still sharp as always. I do sometimes wonder if you can read minds. I had a lot of fun here. In fact, I really like Inazuma. As long as I don't dwell on minor problems and the trouble they cause. I originally came to this domain because I thought that it might have something to do with the balladeer. As it turns out, he's not here. Scaramouche is in possession of a certain gnosis, and we happen to have lost contact with him. I don't suppose it's a coincidence. Of course, it didn't surprise me in the slightest that Scaramouche would do something like this. My agenda as a Harbinger is to seek out combat, and nearly every Fatui Harbinger has an agenda of their own too. I'll let the Gnosis run for a while longer. I'm sure it's only a matter of time before you discover its whereabouts. When that time comes, Traveler, what will you choose to do? And where is your final destination? I wish I could stay here a while longer. The more time you spend somewhere, the more joy it brings you when you return. You're like the stars in the night sky, comrade. You never cease to surprise me.